Hello everyone, I'm Victoria Dunkel with AdventHealth, and we wanted to welcome you in today for a little conversation about something that a lot of people are talking about, our mental wellness in the middle of this pandemic. So we decided to have a conversation with our corporate wellness coordinator, LaToya Ellis. And now LaToya, you actually are one of our team members who really helps support our team through all of this. And I think with the studies that are showing, high rates of Americans, 70% of Americans claiming the impact of the pandemic on their mental outlook and just how they feel in general. What are some things we need to think about when we're trying to protect our mental wellness and feel whole around that?
So our mental wellness is just our ability to deal with stress in general, right? Mm-hmm. So what we need to do is we need to think about the fact that most of us have never lived through a pandemic. So this is all new, right? So take it easy on yourself. Give yourself some grace. It's okay for you to not be okay and to take a moment to yourself. And then you want to make sure you're trying to relax, you're trying to do things that benefit you, that make you happy, that can introduce those feelings of euphoria that contributes to proper mental health and wellness.
Let's talk a little bit about the idea of giving yourself grace. I mean, on any given day pre-pandemic, we set the bar so high for ourselves in whatever role we're in so many instances, almost unattainable. I'm all for setting goals and going after them, don't get me wrong, but the reality of what we consider, am I meeting that idealistic Facebook altered, filtered picture, But the idea of giving ourselves grace is really empowering. What can that set us up to do mentally?
What we need to look at, I think, when we talk about giving ourselves grace is we are not perfect by any means. We all, like you said, we all want the perfect filter, but it is something that we need to step back and look at and say, you know what, I didn't meet this goal today, and that's okay. I'll strive again for it tomorrow. I think we need to look at not trying to say, I need to get this all done in an hour, and say, if I don't accomplish this today, it'll still be there tomorrow, and it'll all be okay.
That's important to put things in the right priority, because some things are in the moment, maybe more urgent than others, but other things that we make emergencies often don't have to be. That's really good. At all, I like that. All right, the next thing you talked about, I love, but I'm terrible at. Relaxation, finding ways to just let myself breathe. What are some things, what are steps we can do that fall into that category?
If you're not a person who likes to work out physically or someone who has been sedentary most of your life, please start small. Do some breathing exercises. Take a walk. However, if you're used to going to big box gyms or working out with your friends, there are several things that you can do virtually that will give you that community feel, but exercise your physical wellness that will cause you to just kind of relax and release those endorphins so you feel like, okay, I'm ready for another day.
That's really powerful, especially if you can do it to start your day. That's really important. What about the other side of it, the end of the day, when your mind starts to race over everything that's been going on, the headlines you've seen, the stories from work, friends, whatever, that have impacted you, the scroll factor, if you will. How do we get ourselves to be able to really get good rest?
This is your moment to shut down. Start at least an hour before bedtime. Put the phone away. Turn off the TV. Get a good book. Turn the lighting low and just kind of feel yourself slipping into that moment of nothing else is going to bother me today. And it just sets the tone. It sets the tone for when you fall asleep. It sets the tone for how you sleep and how long you sleep. So it's important to just shut off, start disconnecting. Set a time and be like, that's it. I'm done for the day. Turn your computer off, stop working.
That's it.
Be done.
All right. Now, one other aspect that really does play a role in our mental wellness is how we're fueling our bodies, because we've seen the stories about increased use of different things to try to relax, whether it be alcohol or comfort food. Oh my goodness, if my family doesn't stop baking something, every night, we're going to be in trouble. But what are some things to think about when we want to maybe fuel ourselves to be able to handle stress better?
Everything in moderation. I like cookies and cakes also, but there also comes a point in time where I have to say, okay, I've had enough of that today. Now I need to get something to fuel my body. So we're looking at our vegetables and our fruits, because once we fuel our bodies, that also contributes to having a mental health and wellness that's healthy and it keeps you in a place where you function just fine through a pandemic or not in a pandemic.
The other thing that was listed in here, people talking about their feelings of isolation and or being unable to connect because of quarantine and various levels of lockdowns and so on. What are some things we can do to help maintain that important element of our mental wellness, that community that really helps fuel us?
This is when you take the time to pick up a telephone and make a call. We're in the age of texting and instant messaging and all of the different messaging that exists with so many mobile apps. Pick up the telephone and make a call. There are things where you can FaceTime family members for a reason, even friends. Use those things to your advantage to get that community feel. Go out and have a socially distanced date with your friends where you park 6 feet away and you just talk back and forth. It's the small things that provide the community that help us along the way.
What do you tell people when it comes to that aspect of their mental wellness? How do we face a future that's so uncertain?
Self-care is not selfish. You have to take the time to do what you need to do to take care of yourself. If that means you need to disconnect for an hour and don't feel guilty about it.
LaToya Ellis, you are part of our amazing wellness team here at AdventHealth. You help our team members feel well. You also work with the community and help share this information. I want to thank you for sharing this information today with the folks who are tuning in for this video. And I'm going to go practice some of them in just a few minutes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. If you want to learn more about how you can help yourself feel whole throughout all the impact of the pandemic and just everyday life, we have great information for you at AdventHealthNC.com.